Hi and welcome back to It's Miracle Beauty. My name is Brandy and we are a beauty review channel. Today is Friday, so it is Full Face Friday, and as you saw from the title, today it's Fenty Beauty. So I do go over all of the products that I own, not just the ones that I'm using, give you little mini reviews and what I think about them. I do tutorial style try on so that you can see what I'm using, how it's performing, and there were some losses and there was more wins. If Full Face Fridays is something you'd like to see more of, I hope that you will subscribe and click your notifications so you don't miss any of my uploads. And don't forget to like and share, and let's get into this review. When I started planning this Full Face Friday series, Fenty was one of the ones that I was super excited about. Everything about the brand, the aesthetic, their goals, their mind frame, the way they present, everything to me is great. But also, vast majority of the products work really well for me. There are a few that aren't as perfect, but vast majority are like in my top 10 or top 5 or even top 3. So as I've been stating in all of these, and I even probably going to be a little bit repetitive just because I don't know which are going up first because I am pre-filling quite a few of these, that I am going to be showing everything I own from the brand, kind of give you a brand review, what I think works, what I think doesn't, and also reviewing and trying on some things in the video. Hi, so this is Editing Brandy, and I was just looking at this, and because I did pre-film so many all at once, I did not know that I saw Elena Davidson actually did this prior. I think a lot of people have done it, but Elena Davidson is the one that actually was like the curator, and as from what I could tell was one of the first people to do it. I actually thought of this and thought I was being so smart, and then did some quick searches and realized it had been done well before. So I just want to give some credit where credit is due, and I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and back to the video. So if we go with eyeshadow first, I actually own all of her eyeshadows, I believe. I don't believe there's any I missed. I have the Moroccan Spice, which has the prettiest color change on it, and that one does look like this. And I may pick up on camera, I have dipped in the vast majority of these. I'm trying to look, I think I've only missed 5. So that one I like. That is one of her products that I enjoy and I think works great, but a lot of people complain about. So I was kind of shocked, I'll be honest, that people were really upset with it, because I have had great luck. The next one is the Galaxy palette. I am going to move kind of fast because she has a lot of makeup and this can't be a million years long. This one is a glitter topper palette, and honestly I think this works great. I've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of the, I think this one is 14, and they've all worked great. So I do own all of her snap shadows, and I am not going to go through each one of these as far as their usability or anything. I'm just going to show you really quick what they look like. That is number 3, that is number 8, four, and 5, 6, 7, 2, and 1. So I think for my shadows, I actually think that I'm going to use one of the snap shadows, and then that topper, I think I'm going to use the rose one. This one, I think I'm going to use this one. It's got really great bright colors and just is really pretty, and it's one I have never used. I already set my eye with my Fenty concealer and my Fenty lavender powder. I could have used the lavender or the butter, but the lavender was open in front of me, so I figured that's what I would do. So I am going to start with this pale rose shade. I'm going to use that as my transition shade. So next I'm going to use the exact same brush, and I'm going to go into this middle shade. It is like this hot pink color. So far, I have to say, I'm glad I picked this palette for this, because this is probably the worst performing one of all that I've tried. So I'm kind of surprised that this one isn't performing, but anybody can have a bum palette or a bum product. It isn't not, I guess I shouldn't call it that. It's not that it's not performing, it's underperforming compared to her other products in my opinion. So next thing I'm going to do, I'm actually, I can't decide what I want to do. I think I'm going to do this shimmer and then cover it with this topper, or do this shimmer and then put one of those from that other palette, the Galaxy palette. So I am going to use my finger. I just think that with most shimmers that works better. And then I think I'll swatch and compare the other ones to see what I want to use for my topper. I am going to deepen out my outer corner just a touch before I finish this look. And it just dawned on me that I have the Fenty lid primer and forgot to use it. So I will have to update you in the future on that one. I actually had got that as a gift after I had already like made my basket of my Fenty stuff to do this video, and it's in my bedroom. I totally forgot to add it to this, so oh well, that'll be for next time. Just use it as a topper to kind of add some more dimension to this. Now these, I will say, I don't think this palette's available anymore, but these do have a crap ton of fallout. That's literally just how they're made. They're just pure glitter with a little bit of substance to help them get on the lid. So let me now deepen my outer corner. I want to see if I can make this just a little bit more impactful, because right now it's pretty bland. Not what I was looking for from deepening my outer corner. I'm looking at that shimmer palette like, why don't I have one? So I am going to grab this brown right here. So this, I'm not loving this today. I'm actually going to go back into the Moroccan Spice. I want to see if I can use a shading here to kind of amp this up. I think this will be one of those looks I'm going to have like 7 shadows on my eye before I'm done. And I'm going to try to recreate the other one and not remember everything I did. So I think that's it. I think once I have my eyeliner and my mascara on, I definitely think it will look better. I'm going to go finish my other eye and then I will come back. Okay, I did finish my eye offline. I did wipe underneath and clean up the bazillion pieces of glitter. But also I lined my lid. I am not comfortable yet lining on camera. It's something that I'm just very self-conscious about my liner. In fact, if you look, these are friends, not even cousins. Every time one gets good, the other one gets wrong, and it's just a mess. So moving forward, about the liner, it's not my favorite. I feel like it cracks. I feel like it does transfer. I will have eyeliner up into my shadows. It's just not my favorite shadow. So next I am going to prime. I'm using the Fenty Beauty. This is the moisturizing, what I call it, Pro Filter Hydrating Primer. It does look like this. I did go through an entire travel size of their regular primer, and I absolutely love it. If they have one in the boxy pop-up like they're showing, I'm definitely going to buy one of those. It's just a really good primer. And it has smoothing effects without feeling silicone-y. So I like that a lot. It's one of my favorites. And then I think I owned it for like almost a year before I even used it. And then I used it up like a lickety-split. But I do love that. I did forget to mention how I prepped my face today. I do, on all of these, use the Clinique Dramatically Different with the purple insert, which is for lines and wrinkles. And then today I did put a little bit of the Farsali Rose Gold Oil. I put it in my under eye when I'm using a matte because I know that my eyes need that extra moisture. And I'm even going to go back in with just a little bit more of this moisturizing primer because the concealer is so matte and the powder is so fine. It will settle into every wrinkle if I'm not nice and moisturized. And sometimes even then it does, but it's less likely. Okay, that is the primer. I do love this primer. I have zero complaints, zero issues. I think it works great. Some people are bothered by the scent. I personally am not, so it doesn't bother me. I do own both of her foundations. I actually panned this successfully earlier this year, and when I went on sale, I did buy it again. I had a $10 off coupon, and it is one that I have to use completely, really like almost oils underneath it, but then it looks stunning and lasts all day. So I'm not going to use that today because I want to use only Fenty products, and the primers I use for that are not Fenty. So I'm going to use the Hydrating Primer by Fenty. I am about, I'm trying to do it so, oops, all of it goes down. So I am a little, let's see, it's probably about halfway done with this. And I do have the Fenty sponge. I've owned this for like a year and never used it because I always had one open. And it literally is the smallest sponge I think I've ever used. So I'm curious to see how well it works because it's tiny. So going in with the Hydrating Foundation, I do just do stripes around my face and then blend it in. Different foundations I do eventually learn need more or less. This one I need to have enough, but I don't want to go overboard. It can get cakey if you go overboard. So I pretty much start with one little layer and then build up from there. So if you have coloring like me, this is shade 150 and it's a pretty good match. I did purchase the long wear one, the more matte one. I did purchase in 160 because it's supposed to have more pink tones. This is a neutral. So I did do that. And I'll be honest, I'm not loving this sponge. It hits such a small area that it's like taking me forever to blend out. So as you can see, it's a very glowy foundation. Like it's not even a little, it's a lot glowy. So next I'm going to go with the concealer. So next one I am going to do a very, very light layer because, ooh, hi, lots on the brush. I find this to be drying on my under eye, but I also find a little bit goes a long way. So I actually wipe everything off the spoolie off the doe foot, and then I put it on. So that way I'm only getting a little bit at a time. I can always add more. I can't take any away. This product is not my favorite. It is one that I own, and I actually have owned twice because I do like it when I'm wearing a matte foundation to have non-glowy under eye. I have since discovered Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue. That is a much better matte concealer in my opinion. However, if you're oily or you're really young, I think this concealer would be fine. I am going to be 42 this week, actually on Sunday. And my under eyes do not like super dry matte formulas. And so it definitely is one that I don't reach for. Now, my under eyes, I normally use a color concealer. This is a really good concealer. I don't need one. So it does show you how good it is. So next I am going to do my cream contour. And I do own, just for the record because I picked one up, I do own a ton of Jeffree Star and Jaclyn Hill brushes. I'm not getting rid of them because they're one or both canceled. I am actually going to use them until they fall apart and then just not repurchase. Because I've already invested in them. There's no reason to throw them away or whatever. If I ever get tired of them, then I'll decide that. So I did just make kind of the stripe of contour, and now I'm just going to use my same foundation sponge to blend it around and blend it in. I actually really like this. When I first reviewed it, I didn't think it was warm enough, but now that I've used it a few times, I actually think it's perfect. I don't have any issues. I do have a goal of adding a bronzer too, so I can use the cream contour and the cream bronzer. But for now, I'm okay with this. I do have a ton of cream bronzers, just not in Fenty. In the summer with tinted moisturizer, I don't set it other than a setting spray, so it's nice in the summer when I'm using tinted moisturizer to have something I can use this cream as well. I didn't really give you a review on this one, but I love this foundation. I do really enjoy that one. One thing I will add about that foundation is it does need to be set. I find that it doesn't ever dry down completely and moves and shifts until you actually set it. So I have two blushes. I have Cheeks Out Summertime Wine, which looks like this and has not been used. It is brand new to me. And then my first one I ordered when these released on Sephora, and it was this. Actually, maybe I ordered it, I think I ordered it from Fenty, not Sephora, I can't remember. But I got that one. I think I might even use a kind of a combination of the two. I'm going to take my finger and just kind of dot it and let it go a little bit lighter as it goes back. And then I'm going to take this and just kind of fill it in between. These are very sheer. They do blend out. Like, I don't honestly know how someone that has a deeper skin tone could use these because they really blend out. Like, I'll just have a little tiny wash of pink when I'm done. I'm not even sure if it's enough to pick up on camera because the lights do wash it out, but it does give just a little wash. I am going to put a little bit over my powder. I do use my sponge and just dab it on over it, but I am not going to go crazy with it. So next I need to set my makeup. I do own both butter and lavender, so I think what I'm going to do is use lavender underneath my eyes and use butter on the rest of my face. I'm going to use the other side of my sponge to kind of try to tap it out a little bit. I don't have creaseless under eyes no matter what I use, but I do try to make it so it's not crepey and crazy. I don't know if anybody else has trouble keeping their like facial expression not looking stupid as hell, but I do anytime I go under my eyes. This is one of the finest powders I've ever used in my entire life. Next, I'm going to move on to brows. I have never used their eyebrow product before. I literally just took it out of the box today. I actually got it during one of the Sephora sales, but it has the neatest little brush. It's almost like a toothbrush. It's super, super small, and it looks like it does really good to pull your brows up. Wow. I think I kind of like this. And I think that's all I'm going to do. It's literally hurting my skin to rub this on because it's that hard of a product. I do normally like to go in with a brow gel, but since I'm doing full face of Fenty, I'm not going to. Next, I'm going to go with my bronzer. I have In the Sun. It does look like this. I'm just on the verge of wiping away the Fenty Beauty logo. That's how much I've used it. I do like this one. I think it works really well. I don't go crazy on my forehead. I literally just put a little bit to kind of bring the warmth together. I don't like having it when it comes down real far, personally. I'm not saying anybody else can do it, but on me, with my Widow's Peak, it looks stupid. I'm going to grab Petal Pop In and just add just a pinch on my face. So next, I think I'm actually going to finish my eyes really quick and then go back and do my highlighter and stuff. So I'm just going to go back into that same palette. I used the number 4, and I'm going to grab a tiny brush, and I'm actually going to run the hotter pink color on the outer corner of my eye. I thought of something while I was off camera doing my other eye too. I have a feeling that this isn't the palette that's the problem. I think it's the powder. I use Fenty's powder. It's a very slick powder, and it makes everything kind of slide away if you're not careful. So I actually think that's what it is. I will retry this palette and let you know. Anytime I do my under eye, I make stupid faces. I don't know what that is. And then I want to take one more teeny tiny bullet brush like that. And I want to take this darker brown and just right at the corner, give a little bit of depth. Kind of bring it together. So I did just do my waterline with the fly liner. This one's in Lagoon, I believe. No, Sea About It. So it is like a ocean or sea blue. This I want to love it. I want it to be great, but I literally have to almost abuse my under eye to get it to work. When I tight lined, it actually kind of like warmed up as I did it more, and then it was a little bit better.
But it's a struggle. It's a struggle, I will just say that.
So next I'm going to curl my lashes and throw on some mascara. So now I am ready for mascara. And it does look, hers does look like this. It's very pretty. It's funny because the ABH looks almost identical, but hers was technically out first. Although who knows which component was ordered first. I will say the formula is buildable. So I also did my lower lash line. I don't think it's fair to even judge this mascara if I don't have a primer on. It's not gonna work. So in camera, I feel like I'm looking pretty washed out, but in person, it looks fine. I could add a little bit more blush. Kind of scared of overdoing it. Maybe I'll just try just a little bit and hope it doesn't ruin it. I just realized I could have actually been using my Fenty brushes today. I don't own every single brush. I own a few eye, a bronzer, and a powder, I believe. But I could have been using those while I was doing this, but I didn't think about it. So if you want a review on those, let me know. And I think highlighter and lips is all we have left. So next I'm going to use a highlighter. I do own quite a few highlighters by her. Not all do I love, I'll be honest. One of them I own is the How Many Carats. It does look like this. And then when you open it, it looks like this. This is like a glitter bomb. It literally is all shimmery glitter. So that's what I kind of regret buying. I think there is time and place when I can use it if we weren't in COVID season. But I just don't care for it. The next one's Hustler Baby. This came with a lip, I believe, a gloss. And I really do like that one. That one's very pretty. Next is Trophy Wife. I got this in BoxyCharm. I've only used it for eyeshadow. I haven't used it for like for my inner corner. That's why you don't see much gone. And then lastly is Fire Crystal and Lightning Dust. This is my favorite by far. It is the one that's made for fair skin. But to me, it just does a really great job of being vibrant without being color change on my fair skin. I don't know how to say that. It gives a great highlight, but it doesn't distort my coloring at all. It doesn't make me look washed out. I do like using a bigger brush for highlight. I have a small highlighter brush from SL Miss Glam I do love. It's dirty at the moment, but I actually love that one. And I am just dipping in both of these. I'm not picking one. I rarely do. I do like more of the wet look. That's definitely a brand for me. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go finish my hair. So I did just go run a brush through my hair. I'm not straightening it. I'm really trying to use less heat. I did get it highlighted, and I actually got the bottom is like a maroon color. So it definitely needs care now that I'm bleaching again. And so I am trying not to dry my hair all the time or straighten it or anything else. So this is a no heat style that I don't mind. So next we're going to do lips. I have every single gloss bomb. I did want to use my Slip Shine. I got it in Goji Gang. This is like a dark, like a mauve. So that is my final look for Fenty Beauty. This is 100% Fenty products. And just a few final thoughts. I think on the primer and foundation, concealer, and powder, I think I gave you my thoughts while I was using them. For the cream products, I agree as well. I think that I love them, just flat out. I think they work fantastic. So if you go into the bronzers and highlighters, again, I think they're fantastic. The few things that pull me back are the concealer, which I went into detail, won't again. The mascara, I'm not in love with. I think that I need to use it more though. I think that with my primer it could look really great. That one is to be decided. The fly liner isn't deep enough or doesn't get dark enough for my preference. I have NYX ones that are quite a bit cheaper that are actually way more pigmented and way more and LA Girl too. So it's just one of those that it's just not worth the money to me if I can get one at the drugstore that's better. The liquid eyeliner I definitely would never repurchase again. It's one that the tip is fine. It performs fine when you're putting it on. However, it does crack and it does transfer if you are in any heat. The sponge. So I like the consistency of the sponge, but I don't like, and I think it's great for my cream products with them, but I don't like how small it is for my foundation. So, and the one thing I did not talk about on camera, but I did already use, and I will use again so you can see.
Is the setting spray. It's called.
What it do?
As you can see, I like it. It's like right there. So this one has one of the finest misters I have ever seen in my life. It's very comparable to the Morphe that's aerosol, but aerosol's not good. So this is one definitely I would repurchase. So that is my full face Friday of Fenty Beauty. If you enjoyed this, I hope you will like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. And if you wouldn't mind commenting down below your absolute favorite Fenty product, or if you have any, what you would like to try. Hope you guys have a great day.